nicely. It's the Drew and Fuse Show. The Drew and Fuse Show. The Drew and Fuse Show. Yeah, they clean up nicely. Yeah.
Hello. Another day, another podcast. Here we go. So we just want to say thank you to everybody that's been listening. If you haven't signed up for DMS yet, make sure you use our promo code Drew and Fuse Show. It'll get you 30% off your first month on direct music service. Also, we have a little affiliate link that'll be in the comments of the video on YouTube for the salsa booth from Photo Booth Supply. If you guys are in the market for a photo booth, make sure you check them out and use our affiliate link. Also, we are not sponsored by Liquid Death. We just really like it. So here we go. Here's our annual. So thank you to Liquid Death for not sponsoring us. And we got a fun guest today. He likes memes. He likes cats. He does all kinds of remixes, and I'm sure you've got tons of his remixes in your Serato library. So we're just gonna go ahead and bring him on. Please help us welcome Mike D. What's up? What's up?
You led with the memes and the cats, huh?
Yeah. Well, you know, we know you're a great DJ, and because you've traveled all over and kind of moved around a lot. And
see, but do you know him? Do you actually know him a good DJ?
I feel like you wouldn't be if you weren't able to move around and start playing at these spots so quickly.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I also have a theory that people that make good edits or remixes also could DJ because something about it. They understand what DJs are looking for, what needs to be played, or how it needs to be played. So I would make that assumption as well.
See, I heard the exact opposite on, I almost want to say it's your guys' show, from someone that people that do edits and do remixes actually don't DJ as well because they're so locked into that musical headspace that they're not thinking of the dance floor in that sense. So
maybe I disagree. I think I think maybe it could be like if you focused on making edits and remixes, maybe technically you're like not as a skilled DJ could maybe be said, but I don't know.
It was just something I heard, and it kind of just kind of made me laugh. That's all.
Yeah, I don't remember us saying that, but maybe one of our guests did. But
no, not you guys. It was someone. I believe it was someone on your guys' show.
I really think that especially just going on the site and looking at different remixers or editors, I always gravitate towards certain people, and I would say 9 times out of 10, I've usually been pretty impressed by someone's DJing once I see them live, if I was a fan of their edits or remixes.
And you have like a pretty unique style to like all your remixes that you put out. Is there like kind of a reason for that kind of got started, or is there kind of?
Okay, so if you're talking about the bass style I do, that's because So Def Bass All Stars was really popular when I was younger, and I really enjoyed that. And I don't know, there's just something about it. I enjoy, you go through like the old versions of records, and like the old, remix services, like way before internet, anything. And there was one, I believe it was the Funky Mix of Rodeo by who did Rodeo? 95 South. You guys familiar? I don't know, like if that's like a commonly known record.
I know that song. I don't play it, but I'm very familiar with it.
I mean, it was one of those, like when I was really young, I would hear it all the time, like on the on-air mix shows and stuff like that. And how it came in, it had the that snare, the and it would go dun 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 dun, and it did it like every like bar almost. And I don't know, there was just something about that sound I really liked, and just the tempo of it and all. And yeah, I like to play. And the other thing was like I like playing hip hop. My first club gig was a house DJ, like full on EDM plur, watching people roll their ass off on the ground kind of stuff. And it's cool, but it's not like not my scene. I've always been like a hip hop kid, and a lot of places you can't play, this, it was like, oh, you can't play this record, it's, it's too ghetto, it's too gully, it's too, whatever. And so that was my in. And also radio tends to gravitate towards that kind of stuff too, especially like mix shows, because program directors are like, hey, we really like this record, but it's just too damn slow for us to play. So that's been kind of that niche. And niche. There's like there's other remixes I like doing too, like the dance hall stuff. There's a lot of that stuff I've done, getting people like TOK and Elephant Man on records and stuff like that. And more recently doing like kind of like the down tempo vibe, like I did that Money Long mix. And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to like just like keep talking, but
no, you're good.
People ask me, oh, which producer do you want to be like? Oh, do you want to be like Diplo? Do you want to be like Tiesto? Do you want to be like Mustard? Do you want to be like, those guys? And I always tell everyone, like, I don't want to be those guys. Who I want to be is I want to be Max Martin. That's my goal. Like, I want to be that guy. I want to be the pop guy in that sense. And just the way music's going, there's definitely, I mean, we listen to everything coming out now. Like hip hop is now pop. Like it's top. Hip hop is top 40. So everything's going in that direction. I mean, yeah, Cardi B's like releasing top 40 records, but then you have Ed Sheeran who just came out with a song with Gunna, stuff like that. Wait, Gunna? Is it Gunna? Am I saying that right?
Yeah. He was just arrested in a RICO case with Young Thug.
Yeah,
which is pretty wild.
He's gonna be pushing D.
So I got a question.
Sorry.
You got all your remixes, and they're great. I've used them a lot when I've done like mix shows and stuff, because anytime I've done something, they're like, we want it to be like up tempo, but not like too much. So yours are always like a go-to. I'll just search, for your stuff. But do you make a lot of like for your show, like when you're playing out and stuff? Do you have a lot of your own like personal edits and stuff that you play?
I don't even like playing my own stuff. I don't like playing my own stuff out because, I remember being somewhere and then someone turned me off to my own mixes because they were like, oh yeah, like I either played before this person or I was playing after this person, and they were just like running through like everything I made because I was there, and I hated it. I was like, it was like embarrassing to me. Like I'm very much like, I like to joke and I like the memes and shit, but am I allowed to swear? Well, it happens.
Yeah. Cuss away.
I like to joke around, but me as a person, I'm very like, I don't know. It's just, how do I put it? When I'm in the club, I'm very much like, if I'm DJing, I'm doing my thing, and I want the crowd to have the best time. I'm not, taking pictures and doing all that nonsense, but I want everyone to have fun. So when I see like DJs like flexing and doing all that stuff with other DJs, I hate it because it's just like the crowd, you know what I mean? Like that's why I became a DJ, is because I'm very like, shy is such a stupid word. I'm very like, I don't like to dance, but I like the music and I like to dance in my head, if that makes sense. That's why I became a DJ, is because it allowed me to socialize and be out without having to like be that guy on the dance floor, or because I like talking to people. It's just one of those like
I think that's most of us.
I know.
Most of us that got started DJing, we really got into it because we like being part of the party. We want to be in the middle of it and the attention, or just that rush, if you will.
Yes.
But I also don't want to be standing in the crowd.
I like my personal space too.
Yeah,
exactly. And it's like the reason I post videos and pics is only because I feel like we have to these days. And I've seen you post a few recently, and it's like you just have to. And and I think all of us could say here that when I started DJing, and I know you guys been DJing for a long time too. When you guys started DJing, like we were just the guys in the corner of the room. No lights on us, kind of playing the music. And now the DJ is transformed to being like in the spotlight, in the center of the room, hands up, kind of thing. And I particularly don't like that. I've kind of learned to like it, but I would still kind of rather be the guy that's kind of off to the side, unnoticed, kind of, So
I don't mind so much the focal point if it makes sense in the club. Like if it's a big like if it's 150 people or more, 200 people, like yeah, that's fine. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like 500,000 people, totally fine. But there's some places where it's a lounge and they want to like put you on a stage. It's like, guys, this is a lounge. Like I want to be on a 6-foot table with a skirt and like kind of like a chill vibe because that's what we are. Like I'm not going to be blowing out a cryo cannon to like the 10 people out there, who are early because they're just chilling,
yeah.
Like
Everybody's eating, and you're just
yeah, like on a Tuesday night when you like take the restaurant gig on a Tuesday night, and like it's like I'm not over here blowing the confetti gun at everyone. Like what? Why am I 6 feet off the ground and about to hit the ceiling in here? So.
No, and that's what I mean. Like I've learned to kind of like being, in the bigger space. The one spot I do now is a little bigger, but it's, I just mean like when we started, it wasn't so attention focused, and now it really has become that. So
yeah, I think the invention or the implementation of LED lights is a big cause of that. I really do. I know that sounds like kind of weird, but think of back in the day, they had like those helicopter lights with like the 4 lights on it, and like, the par cans where like you stand next to it and you're gonna like get a sunburn and shit like that. So, but now it's like, like I see some of these mobile guys and it's like, holy shit, you just brought like an entire production to this 16-year-old birthday party. Like,
right.
With the sideways screens with the multiple, what do they call that? The how they map it?
Oh, projection mapping?
Yeah. They like projection map everything. And then like I saw someone with like a drone recently, like live feeding into it. Like, whoa, yeah, like I'm like
it's
I remember
crazy.
I'm not trying to date myself, but I remember carrying freaking Amprax, man. Like shit. So.
I need to hunt down the guy projection mapping on that because I'm interested. That sounds fascinating.
We do projection mapping at the club, but I couldn't tell you how to do any of it. Yeah,
do you really?
The stuff that you see on the sides of the video is all projection mapping. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
I have to pay attention. I have not seen that at all in a club.
Yeah,
That's
I'll try to get a picture of it next time, or a small video, and send you a clip so you can see it. But
it's projection.
Right.
It's actual. Sorry. Anyway.
No, go for it. Go.
No, I was just gonna say projection mapping, or it's like the screen.
It's projection mapping. So we have 4
That's
projectors
crazy.
that project on. And the cool thing about it is you can, so like basically you just have to hang stuff that's white essentially. And then you can shape it however you want. So like the club's called Energy. So he went out and bought like a bunch of these E's. So like there's like E's hanging up and like just different things. And there's 4 projectors and they can, map where the white is essentially, and that's what it shows up on. It's different. You can't do as much like let's say like I wanted to put my logo on there. Like it won't look, not everything looks good on it because of the way it like stretches stuff and like but certain videos look amazing, and then certain stuff you're like it doesn't really work, because we were attempting to maybe do like DJ videos on the projection mapping at one point, but it just like stretched the videos a little weird and just kind of looked funny. So
you do music videos?
Scrap that. I do them on Friday at my spot, and I didn't do videos for the longest time until the owner who I play for, who he's just in the next office over right now. He was like, "What do you think about doing some videos?" And I was like, "I don't know. Yeah, sure." And then Drew does videos. So Drew hooked me up with some videos, and I've slowly been kind of developing more videos. And it's like, if I have an edit that I don't have something for, I just play like my logo or like Fishbowl logo or,
Oh, that's right. You played a Fishbowl too. I just got a contract with a Fishbowl. That's funny. But you guys are brave. You guys are really brave. I have to say, people who do videos well, you guys are a different breed, because I don't know where you find the time to edit the video. Like
Drew does them well. Drew does it well.
I actually
He's
just do
got-
them in Ableton. I just do them in Ableton. Usually, they're just personal stuff. I'm not passing them out or anything, but I'm so fast on Ableton that I could just chop it up, and as long as you export it exactly the same, it comes out perfect. You can't really change anything or do like too much custom with the video. It has to be the exact same size when you export it out. But
I have seen guys do video though, and I've been like, that's cool. They're playing music videos. Like, that's cool, But then I watched Drew do music videos, and what he does with the videos is like, it's like an extended version of his personality through the video. Like, it's not
it's
just
very weird.
Yeah. And it's not just like him playing Jack Harlow's music video to the song. It's like he'll
I'm
put
not the
something
only
random.
one with cat memes over here. Then is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, what I would say about that is thank you, Fuse, but with the video, I actually do it because I don't edit very well. So I'm just making loops, and more people are watching the stuff. More people will watch the videos because it's funny. So as long as it kind of goes with it, they're not paying attention to that if it's chopped perfectly.
No, that makes sense.
So a lot of it's just it's just going way outside of the boundaries to where people are like, what the fuck is happening right now? It's like it makes sense with the video, but then visually it's awesome. So I think people overthink it too much. It's just supposed to be fun.
I mean, I give you guys credit, especially with the hard drive space requirements.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I mean, I got 2 terabytes in my current laptop.
That's true. That's true. It's not too bad, I guess. I remember when video first came out, and I would see these guys with the Western Digital tanks. Wait, where's my tanks? And I think just from then, I've always been gun shy about videos ever since then. But anyway,
I just collected the videos instead of the audio. So you just have, and I'm also I tried my hardest not to be a hoarder of it. So I really just collect the stuff I want to play that has a good video. If the video sucks, I just get the audio and put something on top of it.
See, that I think that's where I have an issue with it too, because I went through my hard drives yesterday. I'm literally sitting next to 80 terabytes of between 80 and 90 terabytes of audio, just between stems and downloads, and just I'm one of those people, I can't throw it away. And especially like you get the Pro Tools files from people. Oh my god, like what's this record I'm doing? This Lauren Spencer Smith. I lost you guys. The Lauren Spencer Smith. It's called, what is it called? Flowers. Like, it's a whole Pro Tools session, and it's like 10 gigs just for that. It's not even like not even doing anything with it. So it's I'm one of those people that I collect everything and then I make backups of everything. So
it makes sense, especially with TikTok making some of these old songs become brand new and amazing, like giving them new life. So it is good to keep a lot of this stuff. I do keep it on externals. I just don't keep it with me. I don't bring it with me. So I don't bring everything with me. I don't
Sometimes I wish
everything.
I was a little more of a hoarder because, I'm so like, I'll just delete stuff. Like, I'm like, nah, I'm never playing that again. And then I'm like,
I don't know how you do that.
yeah, I just do it. But I do that with things in like real life too. Like, I'm not emotionally connected to stuff. I'll just be like, I don't need that. Like, but sometimes I wish I was, because like I'll know I had made something, and I'm like, oh, I know I made that. Like, I wish I had that still, or found an acapella for something, or and then I just forget where I put it, or maybe I did throw it away because I thought, whatever, But
have either of you guys gotten to the point where you totally forgot you did something and someone else had to ask you for it for you even to know you had it?
Yes.
So
all
crazy.
the time.
Really? Oh my god. I always told myself when I was younger, oh, I'm never gonna forget that I did this mix or whatever. And then that Cherub Doses and Mimosas record, like that's something like right now, especially like private events and for people, let's say 27 to 35 ish or whatever, like that's a song to play right now. And I was like, oh, I wish I could, like, I was telling myself like a couple weeks ago, oh, I wish I could make an edit of it. I wish I could, I was going on Reddit and looking for, stem files or maybe their Guitar Hero Mog files or whatever. I did a sanctioned remix for it and I totally forgot. I have a full on session for it. And it took someone else saying, hey, dummy, you did this. And it just,
That's awesome because there's nothing for that song. I just uploaded a little like a little bootleg to DMS that I did just for the site to have something, like that's one of the things too that's a common, there you go, common misconception that sometimes, as editors for a site that like we do stuff that we play. It's like, no, I made this strictly for this, like for an option, for the site.
Mhm.
And but there was nothing for that. I couldn't find anything,
Well,
for that
actually,
track.
it's the Tiesto remix is currently number 1 on DMS. For Doses and Mimosas.
Yeah, he dropped like a techie kind of housey version of it.
Wait. Sorry, I haven't been keeping. Like Tiesto made a remix to that song.
Yeah, it's currently number 1 on
just dropped.
DMS.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, I guess speaking of fucking doses and mimosas, jeez,
Yeah, it's currently the number 1 download.
I've been hearing a lot about it though. I was getting a ton of requests for it.
That song is like you said though, like I remember seeing Cherub. I saw Cherub, I want to say like 2014 or 2015 in a small theater here in Cincy. That song was big then, and now it's like weirdly I'm getting requests from like younger people for it, and I'm like, are we talking about the same song here?
Yes. Yeah. No, I see that a lot in the clubs too. Like when the whole ABBA thing kind of hit last month, with Gimme Gimme Gimme, it was one of those like, not I would say like 5-6 years ago, that's like blasphemy. You're playing old shit. Get out of here, grandpa. You know what I mean? And now it's like, what can I find? So I'm digging through all that back there. All those like that whole wall is just records. And I'm digging through all that looking for stuff because you got like the big thing that I think a lot of people don't know or don't, the younger generation. This is for the younger generation. I'm not trying to grandpa it up, but this is for the younger generation. The reason why us who played vinyl, like I didn't grow up with vinyl. I was too poor to afford vinyl. I actually started with CDs and I got clowned for it. Like I was, a Napster DJ in that sense. But it wasn't because I couldn't play on it. I couldn't fucking afford it. It was just one of those things. But as I got, more gigs and I got more, I guess notoriety, whatever, and had more money coming in. I mean, I bought a lot of vinyl. And this is for the younger generation, like why vinyl kind of is important. And I see people buy albums, and to me, honestly, albums are useless. Like, don't get me wrong, they're fun to listen to, but to me, as a DJ and as a producer, albums are totally useless because if you look at the singles, especially some of like the later 80s, the all of the 90s, and even like the early 2000s before Def Jam stopped putting instrumentals on everything, you would have the clean version and dirty version, but then you'd also have the instrumental, and then you'd also have the acapella, and then sometimes you'd have bonus beats or different kind of cuts or different or specific remixes of the song, or what they would call the 12-inch version. Sorry, I'm not explaining to you guys. You guys know who I'm explaining to. They would have like the 12-inch version, which is like a super extended version where there was like crazy shit in it. I think it's an older record, but Bizarre Love Triangle by New Order, like you listen to the regular version, it's kind of like, oh, this is pretty, whatever, la 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 la. You listen to the 12-inch mix, or the 12-inch mix, and there's all this crazy drum patterns going on that unless you had the wax, or the re-release of the CD when they released that after, but unless you have the wax of some of these tracks, you don't experience that. And then especially on the DJ side or the creative side, there's like little breaks I'll use
Totally
of just song, like just little breaks, just to throw on stuff when I'm DJing, just because it adds that flavor. It's like it was live remixing before being, before Ableton and everything took over. And I mean, in a lot of ways, it's kind of I don't want to say it's a lost art, but it's an art that not as many people do anymore because it's so easy just to get the acapella maker, the free online whatever, or use RX8 or whatever and make an acapella. I mean, but you can hear it sounds bad and I hate it, but that art of doing things live has kind of gone by the wayside with DJing because, when you would have, say, two records, say you have 50 cents in the club, okay, you're playing the instrumental and then you drop the acapella over it, and then you drop that instrumental out, pick up another record which has a similar tempo, and then mix that in. Where doing live blends like that is something where I almost want to say part of it has gone by the wayside because you can't do it as quick as people want things now. Like you cannot do stuff like that in 45 seconds unless you're like just ripping through stuff and ruining records. Or even in Serato, it's I mean, you can do it, but it's tricky. But just sorry, I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but being able to getting back to my point, being able to have the acapellas, instrumentals that were only available on the Wax is such a blessing, and why I've saved, these records all came from Hawaii. They're in Ohio now. Okay. All this is probably about between 8 and 10,000. There's probably between 8 and 10,000 records back there. It was up to like 35 at one point, and I gave all them away. I went through everything. Like, do I want this? Do I want this? And there's some stuff where it's like, shit, I wish I would have fucking kept that because, now some of those hip hop records from, 2004 or whatever, like the Clips records, or, like those Star Trek records, or the TVT records where Lil Jon and all those acapellas on them, you know what I mean? Where you could take something like that and put something stupid like ABBA over it, and then all of a sudden, guess what? You got yourself a fucking TikTok hit.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Anyway,
that's true.
That's why. Sorry, I was saying to the younger generation, try looking at singles versus the albums. Anyway,
Discogs. You can still go on Discogs and buy them at a overly expensive price.
So we'll real quick before we get started with our rapid fire, kind of give us a for anybody listening, you're in Cleveland now, and kind of tell us your journey, and you're from Hawaii, and how you just places you've been and places you've stayed at for a while, and where you've like, not the names of places you've DJ, but you've done stuff in Vegas and
Well, I'm originally from Nanakuli, Hawaii, which no one knew about unless you were from there until Jason Momoa, as because you look so much like Jason Momoa.
It's my doppelganger. Yeah, that's what everybody tells me. It's really the abs.
Born and raised in Hawaii, and I DJ'd. I don't want to say like every club out there, because that's the nightclub scene in Hawaii for a long time was very, very like, if 4 a.m. liquor license. I mean, at one point there was probably like 20 genuine like nightclubs when I was playing, and there was even more before. Like, it was definitely a hot spot to go out and and party, and it was just really fun. And anyway, from starting doing the remixes, I learned that in order to talk to the people in New York, I have to DJ till 4 a.m. and then wait 2 hours so that I can talk to them by noon. And then I got to wait another 3 hours so I can talk to people in LA by their noon time, because that's what time everybody wants to talk. And, so by that time I'm beat, and then I lose my day. So I made the for anyone in a small town, you kind of got to, like, Hawaii's a big, but it's also a small town in the sense that, like, you can't drive anywhere. Like, you're on an island. Like, let's be real. You're in the Pacific Ocean. You ain't going anywhere, like, except in the circle. So it wasn't really feasible to like jump on a plane all the time. So, it's a 6-hour flight just to California. So it's just one of those things. Like, I told myself I had to move to Vegas. Did quite well. Excuse me. Made a bunch of friends out there. I have to say, I made a bunch of good friends out there. And then I met my girl who was doing radio in Sacramento. She got a gig, and we were driving back and forth from Sac to Vegas to see each other, which is like a 9-hour drive, I think, or something like that.
Jeez.
But I didn't mind it because I've never been able to drive for more than like an hour and a half in Hawaii. And the only time you drive for longer than that is when you're stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
So, me driving through Nevada in the middle. Have you been in the middle of Nevada in the desert?
Oh yeah,
That's
I
some
did that drive a million times.
That's some scary shit out there, man. Like, I've never seen the radio dial just like continually flip because like there's no signal for anything. That's nuts. So she got a gig in Atlanta, went out to Atlanta. From there, she ended up actually getting a gig in Cleveland here. So came out here and was like, okay, cool. Then iHeart, did their thing, and then COVID hit. So we, we're like, okay, well, what do we do? Because COVID was very interesting, and we decided to stick it out. She actually went back to school. She went to like I'm not like being like that, but I'm gonna brag on my girl for a minute. I mean, this girl, like, she's done stuff with Harvard Business School. She's actually going to Harvard campus this Friday through Sunday for like some conference thing that they invited her out to. So when they say radio people are dumb, not all radio people are dumb, I guess. Me kind of, but but yeah, we stuck it out here and doing clubs out here. I've done stuff in Atlantic City. I've done stuff in Florida. I've done stuff in I still actually fly to Atlanta quite a bit because there's Atlanta strip club culture is very different. Like, they play like nightclubs out there, and this one club I go to, they like, I've never seen, they have like these giant cubes where that's why I was asking you about the video mapping, because these are like transparent LEDs, like boxes that they like have the games on and like, or do light shows and stuff. And it's crazy. And then there's like ass flying around. It's like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
So
I guess I got to go there and do some research and go check it out.
you know what? Next time I'm there, you can come along and just don't wear the Google Glass. The manager was actually telling me how they like threw someone out because he had like on one of those like those spy glasses things. So
Oh my god!
Like,
that
I mean, it's 2022. I mean, if Pornhub is not a thing and you need to like use a spy glass, like, I don't know what to tell you. Get a better internet connection or something. But I don't know. But
maybe he's like a Pornhub influencer, and he's trying to get like the new angles and stuff for people that are into that kind of stuff. So,
all right, the next time you're there, me and Fuse are coming out to do some marketing research,
dude. I mean, like, honestly, I know, yeah, but like, for real, you want to come on out?
I appreciate that. It'd be fun to see that. It's always good to see, like, different markets and how things, work. I feel like now these days it's kind of, mostly the same everywhere, but there is still like little niche things that work in some markets that don't work in others.
Absolutely.
It's cool.
Well, the crazy, I mean, sorry, just to kind of circle back on that, the crazy thing to me is I had to remember the name of the club. Miami, 11 in Miami. The same people that did their lighting did this club's lighting.
Okay.
Like, it's fucking legit. And then the sound is all like the high-end turbo sound stuff. Like, and there's like Nexus 2000s and like full on like the 900 Nexus 2 mixers, and they're like, oh, do you want an S11 or do you want a Nexus 2? And it's like,
I got options.
No, I mean, like, I've never associated an S11 type quality mixer with a strip club, like,
yeah. I have been to 11 before, late at night in Miami, and I was already pretty gone, and I have like this much memory of it, but that place is insane too. So if it's the same kind of thing, yeah, that's why.
Yeah, no, it's the same people that did 11's lighting. They flew them up from Miami to do the lighting. Like, so it's, you were saying something and I wanted to talk about it and I totally forgot where you were going with it.
Oh, just like I was saying how, like, now things are kind of the same with, the internet. We're all pretty much playing the same songs, but there are still some little niche things that work in different markets that don't always work.
Yes.
Like what might work in, San Francisco might not work in Cincinnati. and same kind of difference. There's some stuff in New York that you're not going to play. West Coast. It's just different markets. There is some difference still.
I do like, depending on the place, I do like to play, some old school hip hop. And for me, not being able to throw in Summertime in the LBC out here, it's kind of weirds me out. But like nobody knows what that is out here. Or they do, but it's not. It would be Summertime in the CLE. So let's do that next. But no, like one of the biggest things I'm not used to is rock, and like not old school rock, like not that kind of rock, but like the Killers. I'm not used to playing
Yeah.
that. Or line dances. I am not used to line dances. Granted, that's kind of died out, but still, like when I got to Atlanta, what's that song?
Wobble?
No. It's a song you wouldn't even. J-Lo with Big Pun, with Fat Joe and Big Pun. Feeling So Good, the song that they sampled from that. Set It Off. There's a whole line dance to Set It Off in Atlanta that people dance to now, and I had no idea, but it's a thing. Or just when I see guys playing swag surfing now, but like they're playing in Atlantic City, it's like, what the fuck, where are we, like what's going on, and it's very interesting. I will say, when I got here, there was a event where the club owner was like, hey, we have a private event, and he goes, I know you're from Hawaii, and it's for a bunch of firemen, they're raising funds, like it's a luau theme, can you play Hawaiian music? And I was like, holy shit, here's my fucking call, let's go. So, but I mean, I don't get to play like that's something me and a couple other guys back home, we would incorporate playing, like the like danceable kind of Hawaiian stuff, not like the full on hula, twangy kind of stuff, but we would incorporate that into the mixes. We would like be dropping next episode beats over some of the stuff, and like I mean, I'd name some,
I'd
like,
love to hear some of that. That's rad. It sounds awesome.
I mean, it's fun because it's one of those things like people don't expect it, and because it's like to me, it's kind of like dropping, like, say something like Mac Miller out here, where I didn't know how popular Mac Miller was to the Midwest until I got to the Midwest.
Yeah.
Because like
he's pretty popular here. Yeah.
Yeah, I've what's the one song? Oh, da-na-na-na-na-na. That song.
I don't know, but I know there's a couple ones that I'll play. I can't even think of the. I'm so bad with that. Unless I like see it in front of me in my Serato library, I'm like,
The way I search for things, it's like either half the artist name or like half the song title. It's never like the full. Yeah, no, I understand. But no, people, it's one of those songs, especially in Cleveland, being so close to Pittsburgh and all that. It's one of those songs that people love, but I've never heard of it until I got out here, and it's just, it's like you guys are saying, the demographic, or it's demographic, your area. What am I saying? Where you are,
like you're just the market. Yeah, the market where you are. No, but it's a little different. I would say 90% is the same, but there is like a 10% difference everywhere. That it just kind of depends sometimes, and unless you're kind of there and then in the mix, you don't really know. So
I've never played Mr. Brightside until I got out here. By the way,
really?
Yeah, I didn't play it in Vegas.
I feel like a lot of people are playing that now. I heard Vice talking in an interview, and he was like playing, saying that he was playing that in the clubs and stuff out there. But I feel like that whole, like the Fallout Boy, the Killers, Blink-182, it's kind of, Panic at the Disco. It's all pretty big right now. I can do like, I'll do like I try to always, when I play, like, and this is a little old school, I think, I always try to group things together that kind of make sense. So I might do like 5 songs in a row real quick that are like, all those like Blink-182, Panic at the Disco, Fallout Boy, the
My
Killers,
Romance.
Some all like just real quick, like bam, 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 bam. And there's like a 5 or 6 songs that I could play, even more. I might play like an Avril Lavigne in there too, where it just kind of
Mhm.
makes sense. But it's all working right now, and it's like it didn't for a
Yeah.
while. Like,
Yeah.
and you're like, what?
Well, it was the pop music for a long time. That was what was getting played on MTV and the um just what was getting played on the radio. So I don't know. It makes sense to me.
Like I played Avril Lavigne for the first time. I was like, "Ooh, I don't know. I've seen like some edits of this pop up recently." And I
Which
was
one?
like, "I don't know
Complicated?
about this." Girlfriend. Hey,
Oh,
you.
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna give it a shot." And it worked. And I was like, I played it in that like set of things, but still, I mean, and it was just really quick. It was like not even the edit. I don't think was like a minute and a half. It might have
Mhm.
been.
Complicated works also. You
Yeah,
ever play that? I
complicated
just
works.
play the hook.
But I was
JoJo
like,
leaves
okay,
Get Out works really well.
What was it?
JoJo, leave, get
Oh,
out right now, dinner, you and me. Come on.
I've
Yeah.
actually
there it is.
Scooter said he plays that one, and I haven't played
Oh,
that one yet, so I'll have to give that one a shot. So,
also, believe it or not, I'm gonna be digging hard in the 2010s right here. Paula Deanda, Walk Away.
Walk Away. I don't
I
even
don't
know
know
if I
that
know
at
that
all.
off the top of my head. I'm going to listen to it.
It was I think it had The Day on it. Was it The Day? Yeah. There was like a
Paula
hip hop
Day,
mix with The Day.
Yeah,
Deanna.
yeah, it's day. All
Hold
right,
on, I'm listening to it.
and oh no,
It was just
Well,
one of
now there's
those.
a YouTube ad.
Oh, perfect.
I'm
It was
gonna
just one of
I'm
those
gonna
super girly songs. Um,
I just did a wedding just recently. I talked about it on the last episode, but it was Jordan Sparks No Air.
mm, ah, ah. I no, I don't know. There's some song like I see songs or I associate songs with colors and stuff like that.
You're
And
not
so
the
when I'm
first person
mixing,
that said that.
huh?
That's funny. You're not the first. One of my other buds here in Cincinnati says the exact same things. He associates music with color. So
I
keep going
mean,
on that.
I don't know if it's actually diagnosable synesthesia. That's the phrase for it. But like, some people taste it, some people, associate whatever. But I associate colors like, for example, Goodies by Sierra is like a sultry blue, where Usher's Yeah is like a neon green, or Turn Down for What's like a hot white, or Mr. Brightside's like a orangey kind of yellow, stuff like that. And I'll it's so funny that when the Camelot wheel and everyone was doing that, it's so funny when that came out because I was like, these colors are backwards to me. So I don't use the Camelot system like with the color part, but just like blending songs like that, or if I'm totally trying to change the mood, I'll change the color of what I'm playing. So it's just
Do you
yeah,
label that in Serato, or you just have that
no,
memorized?
it's all in my head.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's all in my
It's
head.
my buddy. He listens to the podcast, so shout out to Ice Cold Tony. But he's one of the ones that kind of helped me grow along the way as a DJ. But he's a musician. He plays guitar. But he's always said that to me. He's always like, I see music as color, so it's
Mhm.
not when certain people are talking about this and that. It doesn't work like that to me. He's
Yeah,
so you're not the first person that I've heard that from, which is funny. And it's everybody does things a little differently. We might all be doing the same thing, but the way we get to it is always different.
Sure.
With that being said, we're gonna get into one of our first segments, and it's called rapid fire, but it's also called the not so rapid fire. So I'm gonna play this little segment video and we'll get into it.
It's now time for rapid fire.
All right. That's one of Drew's highly produced videos. It's cost $1 million to make that video,
can
as you
tell.
can tell. Yeah.
But
So
sorry, go ahead.
the last thing you listen to on Spotify or vinyl, just something that you listen to in your personal time.
The last thing I listen, I mean, see, that's where it's tough. And are you talking about something I listened to, or what the last actual thing I listened to was?
Something you
Whatever.
personally you enjoy, like whether it was a podcast or a song or whatever, like the last thing that you enjoyed listening to, not just that you had to hear.
If I'm coming home from a club, the best thing I want to hear is silence. I want it quiet in my car. I want to hear the tires rolling on the road. I want my ears to decompress. If I'm on like a long drive, it's weird. I'm one of those people where I'll play Dr. Dre's The Chronic and then follow it up with Take Me Home Country Roads, and then like some Britney Spears, and then or I'll have the playlist, the Spotify playlist of all the songs from The Office. That's like
What?
it's
I like that.
I have that playlist saved. It's all the songs that ever are mentioned or make an appearance in The Office.
That's cool. It's always
dope.
interesting to hear what everybody listens to. I'm the same. I think Drew's the same too. Most of the time we listen to silence, but if I'm listening to something, it's mostly either like punk rock or ska, like something in that, or it's like completely chill music that has nothing to do with DJing, something that I would never ever play.
I like funk music, PHONK. I love that shit. Love
Okay.
that stuff, like Durst and all that, or what's that one guy, Ghostman.
I'm not
All
familiar.
right.
You're just throwing a bunch of stuff. I'm making a crate here of some of the stuff you mentioned.
Yeah, no,
All right.
DVRST and Ghostman, like Gucci Mane, but Ghostman.
All right. So your favorite thing to do when you're not DJing, and you don't have to include production in this either, if you have like a
Thank
hobby.
God. I hate it all. I like carpentry. I really like carpentry. I kind of like working on cars. I like to build stuff too. Like I like to build circuits and that kind of stuff. Like I was building breakout boxes for people. Like for mix show DJs, actually, I would it was a passive box that basically had two inputs for the headphones coming from, say the on-air feed, and then the mixer, and then you run two cables to that, and there's a switch on it, so you can switch between the two without having to like do that whole stupid thing. You just mount it right underneath the DJ booth, and when you need to hear on air, you just flip it right on over. Versus how a lot of people are like, they either use the Behringer, or they use like some other thing, and then their headphone wires going like all the way on the side. It's just right by your mixer. So I've burned myself quite a bit, but I enjoy soldering.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I think I remember seeing you post about those too, like on Instagram or something.
Yeah.
Along there.
Yeah. There's been people asking me about boxes, but just with the whole shipping and supply chain and all that, getting the quality parts is kind of hard.
Yeah.
So
do you play any instruments?
I can play the Ableton Push.
All right. I just didn't know if maybe you were like at a young age got started playing piano or guitar or anything, and it kind of helped you, along the way.
I can play piano if I'm not playing it live, if that makes sense. Like I can play it out, but it takes me a while. My brother is actually a full-on master's degree music composition, that whole nine with that. So he actually has a lot of the knowledge I wish I had, but because sometimes I'm like, oh well, hey, how do I resolve this, or how do I go from here? He's like, oh, it's just blah 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 blah, and it's like, damn it, Chris, like, fuck, like an idiot,
Did his parents, or did your parents put him in classes? Did they put him in classes and not you, or is that something you just weren't interested in?
I was bratty at times as a kid, and I remember my mom saying like, hey, I'd like to teach you piano, and I remember saying no. And that lives in my head rent free all the time, is me telling my mom, who taught piano to students. She was a music teacher. She taught people how to play piano. And I said no, like a dumbass.
Yeah, we've all done that. I definitely did the exact same thing, and I regret it.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite remixers or producers? And it doesn't have to be like DJ wise. It can just be like music industry wise.
Honestly, I mean, and we talked about this a little bit before. People always say like, oh, who's your favorite remixer? Who would you want to be like? Is it Tiesto? Is it like, Diplo? Is it Mustard? Is it, Khaled? And I always tell the people the same thing. My favorite producer is actually who I would want to be more like, and that's Max Martin. He's like essentially the pop guy for the past 30 years. arguably, if not longer.
For people that don't know who that is, maybe he did all of Katy Perry. That's like the Swedish crew, right?
Yeah,
Did he do all the Katy Perry stuff and uh,
Britney Spears, NSYNC,
yep,
Backstreet
yep.
Boys, Katy Perry, Weekend, Ariana Grande. I mean, I would say a lot of stuff coming out of Universal uses Max Martin. So
I
whoever's
saw
on there.
some documentary about I don't remember how it started, but it had something to do with just the Swedish. How it was like they talked about ABBA in it. They talked
Yeah.
about the guy that
No,
came before that kind of found Max, right?
I know exactly the documentary you're talking about because I watched it too.
I think he did the Weekend stuff too.
Yes.
Recently.
Yeah. So that, yeah.
Well, he did he started the first Weekend track he did was Can't Feel My Face.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it was because ABBA had that pop sound, and for the past 30, 40 years, all of our pop music has been influenced by the Swedish, which is why it has that sound. And yeah, I think Max Martin, they said he was like a runner or something. Like he didn't even know how to play any instruments or anything like that. So I mean, shit, there's some inspiration right there, right?
And I can't remember who the guy that he was running for, but he basically learned all from that guy, and that guy had like I can't remember who it was. Now we'll figure it out.
It was
yeah,
definitely
he's got hits. So if anybody's listening and they don't know who we're talking about, just do a little Google search and a lot will pop up, and you'll be mind blown at how much music he's touched. So,
I mean, the other thing is too, like, I enjoy being able to listen to, like, not everything to me has to be in a nightclub setting. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy listening to ballads just as much as I enjoy, listening to club songs, but I enjoy the diversity. And sometimes as a DJ, we get so pigeonholed, or so, what is this? Pigeonholed, whatever. Tunnel visioned with, everything has to be DJable. And as I've been, experimenting with records, experimenting with music, and trying to progress like that, I've found that I enjoy ballads as much as I enjoy, a club banger. So
it was the documentary This Is Pop, and it was
right.
episode the Stockholm Syndrome, and the guy that taught him was from Ace of Base.
Interesting.
Yep.
Wow.
I loved Ace of Base as a kid.
That's crazy. I'm gonna have to go watch that.
It's the reggae vibe of the Ace of Base, right? They just got the little reggae touch.
Yes. But also the US mix of Lucky Love. I don't know. I don't know if you guys are like this at all, but there's some songs I can listen on repeat for like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And Lucky Love by Ace of Base, the US mix, is one of those. I don't know why. It has that sound to me that I fucking like. And yeah.
I'm adding that to my list.
Huh?
My Mike D list. I'm adding that to my Mike D playlist.
So is there a popular song that that over the years that makes you cringe and you refuse to play? Like there's just like one song that you will not play out?
A lot of line dances. I think the big, you know what it is because I always tell people, and I'm totally cool with it, like, hey, if you want to work on a track together, by all means, hit me up. Let's do some work. My big thing is I hate when it's corny. There's a line where it's like something's fun, but then it's corny, because like, what's the purpose of it? If this offends any DJ out there, my bad. But I hate when I go to a club and I hear a Disney song being played out like that. I just fucking cringe, because I'm not trying to watch Melissa fucking twerk to A Whole New World. Okay, I'm not trying to see that. Okay.
If we were naming podcasts, that's the name of this podcast.
Twerking to A Whole New World.
That's a great fucking title.
They're playing the side stage of Coachella. I'm not trying to watch Melissa twerk to A Whole New World.
No, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to like hear a fucking, a hype version of We Don't Talk About Bruno. Like, that's, like, to me, like you do it at a wedding, I understand. I get it. You know what I mean? That's a wedding setting. But I've heard it in clubs, and it's just like, to me, it makes things tacky to like. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes like records are fun to throw in because they have the like that right amount of cheese. Like sometimes, Iman, fuck it. I'll throw that in the middle of the fucking night because people will sing that shit. Fuck you, you hoe. I don't want you back. People will get into that. And yes, on the flip side of it, yes, people will get into hearing A Whole New World or Little Mermaid during, because they know it. But when you kind of look back at it, it was like, damn, I don't know. There's just something about it that it's just not for me. If
I'm
that's
with you.
If that's you,
I,
that's you. That's not for me.
I'm with you. I'll play some what some people might consider like cheesy stuff, but I think like you said, there's like a right amount. And then there's the part where I'm like, I just can't bring myself to do that. Like I just don't. There's a lot that I understand what you're saying because it's how I feel about certain things, So I get what you mean, and I don't have let's talk about Bruno in my library, and
I don't either.
if you do, it's cool, but it's not for me either.
Yeah.
And I'll play a lot of stuff that might not be for other people too, but
No,
it's
agreed.
just
Agreed.
so.
Yeah.
And Iman was one of my closers for the longest time.
Oh,
I would
really?
play that as like my last song at at one of the spots I used to play for a long time.
That's funny.
Do you have a guilty pleasure song that you like?
I mean, I already named one, that fucking Lucky in Love song. Some anime openers, songs. My Japanese side fucking loves that shit. You grow up with it. And I'm not talking like Dragon Ball Z theme or stuff like that. I used to when I worked in radio in Hawaii, I was a production director, and I created carts for myself. For those of you who don't know what carts are, they're basically the number in the computer that is assigned to particular songs. And I created my own like numbered carts where I would just have songs that I'd like to hear. Like, but see, it was, again, it's all random shit. Like CC, like I'd have Creedence Clearwater Revival, and then I'd have a Linkin Park song, and then I'd have the opening theme from Neon Genesis Evangelion, just total random shit. And it would just like play in the background. Or I don't know. I'm one of those people, I find joy in songs like that because we play so much of what's mainstream. We play so much of what, like, yeah, I get it. You want to hear Push and P. Guess what? I've heard it like 8,000 fucking times. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to end up playing it, but that doesn't mean I want to listen to it on my own time. And I think that's one of those things where, I don't know. I see some DJs who like to still listen to what they play, and then I see other DJs who like go off the rails, and I'm lean to going off the rails in that sense.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't listen to anything that I have to play pretty much, unless then I'm having like somewhere in a party too, and then it's like, okay, I want to hear that stuff. I want it to be fun. But other times, most of the time I don't listen to anything that I play. All right, this is a question that stumps a lot of people, and a question that we look forward to very much.
Okay.
What is the best non-curse word, one word insult?
Bozo.
That's a stumper. Bozo.
Bozo.
That's one we haven't had yet. So.
I love that. Eventually, we're going to do something with them. We're going to get stickers made, or we're going to get crock pins that you could put on with all these words on it.
That's funny.
Yeah, we talked about doing a T-shirt that just had all the different one-word, non-curse word, one-word insults from everybody. All right, so you're from Hawaii, and you're now in Cleveland. So we're gonna ask 2 parts with this. What is, if you're going back home to Hawaii, what is like the first food spot that you gotta hit up when you
let me tell you something about people from Hawaii. We love motherfucking food. Like, we will go out to eat to discuss places to go out to eat. That's how it works. And I mean, the reason why is because a grilled cheese sandwich on bread is like a foreign concept to us. Like, I mean, we have it, but like that's not something we look forward to. We don't look forward to Hot Pockets. We look forward to Loco Moco, which is like nice pile of white rice, and then you get 2 hamburger patties cooked just right, and then 2 eggs on top, sunny side up, and then a nice thing of gravy right over it. Like that's a Loco Moco. That's
I had
Hawaii.
that when I was there. Yep, it's delicious.
I mean, grew up out there. I love fish. Yeah, I will say, being kind of here, it's a little weird because there's fresh fish, but it's like lake fish. I'm not used to how lake fish tastes. I'm used to like tuna or yellowtail or seawater type of animals. So when I see people out here having poke bowls, it drives me crazy because there's not supposed to be any mango and avocado in a poke bowl. It's like fish and seaweed and shoyu, which is soy sauce. It's, I don't know. It's, how do I put it?
So you're not a fan of the Lake Erie River or Lake Monster fish, is what you're telling me.
I mean, I had perch. It's okay. It's kind of bland. Like,
Yeah, like
I don't know.
walleye. Like I'm not a fish eater, so I'm not particularly into the
I don't even
seafood.
know if
I'll
I've-
eat it, but not for me.
I don't even know if I've had walleye, just because walleye, like, I don't know, it sounds weird to me. Like,
Yeah.
imagine a wall and a fucking eyeball. I don't know.
I
yeah.
do love Hawaiian poke. We lived on that when I was out there.
I mean, there's just nothing like it. And you have like the raw onions in it. It's just such a certain taste. Or like kalbi. I miss kalbi. It's like Korean short ribs, but there's, I mean, you're in Cali, you know what kalbi is. Just food like that. Even spam musubi. I made spam musubi. I make spam musubi out here because I miss it.
Yeah, it's delicious.
And everyone's like, spam's disgusting. But it's, it's Hawaii people don't just take the spam and put it in the microwave and nuke it or throw it in the pan and fry it with nothing. Like, there's a way you got to cook the spam. You got to get the brown sugar, you got to get the shoyu, and you got to like let it simmer and marinate so it has this nice sauce and coating around it. And then you turn the heat up just a little bit so it gets a little bit of crust. Then you get the rice, and you like, if you really want to be fancy, you add the rice wine vinegar to make it a little bit more like sushi rice. And then, you get the nori, which is a seaweed, and you make it nice and perfect, and you let it sit for a minute.
Now that's what I need to go order because now my mouth is drooling. I think that's what I'll have for lunch.
I'm sitting here like I know I got lunch in the other room, so I'm you're just making me hungry. Here's a question. Do you have a most like memorable night in the DJ booth, or if you have a couple, or just something that like a fond memory of like something, anything?
Oh yeah, I mean, I have good memories and I have terrible memories. I remember one of the first times I started DJing. You guys remember those white Denons, the 1800Fs? The Denons where like had the trays come out, the CD players.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
The rack mounted ones?
Huh?
The rack mounted one
Yes,
you're talking about?
yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So one of the first clubs I played in, one of the first big clubs I played in had those, and I'm playing, and it's 11:30, and the headline, the guy who like comes on at midnight or 12:30, he's about to like come on, and the bass had been a problem, and my CDs just start fucking skipping, and keep in mind, I was in the clubs like DJing before I was allowed to like be in the clubs. I think I was like 17 or 18. And playing it, and then jet, and I'm young. Like, this is like my first big club gig. I'm freaking out. And the OGs are like, whatever, just go grab a record, whatever, grabbing the record, like, hand shaking the whole nine, trying to like get it to track. And yeah, so I would say I always remember that. And I think it's led to the nightmares I have where I can't get back to the DJ booth in time. And I know a lot of DJs have that dream where they can't get back to the booth in time and they can't play the record.
I have the dream of where I can't find the next song.
Yeah, that's
and then you're just like, I know what I want to play, and you're like, I can't find it. And then all of a sudden, I'm just stuck. Like, everyone's staring at me, and the music is playing.
Positive memories. I mean, You know what? I think one of the most memorable times and was when Dwayne the Rock Johnson was in the club. And the only reason why is because he was probably the nicest person, like nicest like celebrity who's like I mean, there's been other nice people come through, but he's been like he was like beyond nice because this person I was dating at the time had a younger brother who was really into wrestling, and I was like, oh shit, The Rock's here. So after the club closed, they were just hanging out in the VIP room back when there was a VIP room in clubs. And I went, hey, excuse me, Mr. The Rock. I think I said that. And
Mr. The Rock.
I had a record sleeve, and I was like, "Do you mind signing this?" He goes, "Yeah, man, no problem. Who's it out to?" And he had his stunt double there with them. I go, "Oh, it's actually for my girlfriend's younger." He goes, "What's your name?" I go, "It's actually." I go, "I'm Mike, but it's actually for my girlfriend's younger brother. His name's Elijah." And his friend was like, "Yeah, right, Elijah." Or I'm sorry, his double's like, "Yeah, right, it's for him. It's for you." Blah 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 blah. But you know what? Rock was like, "No. Tell him I said if you can, if you smell what the Rock's cooking, da 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 da." But that was just like it was super cool for someone, because looking back, it was kind of like, damn, went up to this dude like in a fucking club like that, like privileged ass DJ bullshit, you know. But
You were DJing?
huh?
You were
I
actually
am.
playing?
No,
Yeah.
I was playing, but I mean, this is before like the whole super center of attention thing. This is before bottle service. So they were
Right.
just like in the VIP room enjoying themselves, wanting to be in the quieter space,
Right.
Yeah. So
So before he was even like super, super big Dwayne the Rock, like now, to where he's like Hollywood's #1 paid actor.
this is when like the Scorpion 2 came out. Or
Okay.
Scorpion
So
King
he
2.
was starting to break into movies
Yes.
and stuff. And
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah. But he was really nice. And I don't know why I always remember that, but I do. Like I remember like the smell and everything too, because you could still smoke back then.
You can still smell what he was cooking?
All right. With that being said, we're going to move into another topic here.
The Serato Top 5.
That was $1 billion production video, just so you
Jeez.
know. It cost $1 billion.
That's where all the stimulus money went.
Yeah. Yep. Stimuli. I was stimulated. Drew was stimulated when he made the video. So
It was really late at night, and I need to update some of them. But yeah, they're getting there.
Yeah. we like the videos that have kind of absolutely nothing to do with the topic. It's kind
Yeah,
of
I mean,
the
that's the best. Random. I'm very much a proponent of randomness.
All right, so tell us, we're gonna get into the Serato top 5, and just if you want to get started, talk about some songs, and if you want to, whatever, let's hear it.
So it's funny because my Serato top 5, if you're asking me what works, it's so weird because things from 2010 to 2015 is what really works right now. I think, especially like, well, excuse me, in an open format and like with I would say rhythmic type of hip hop, because everything now is very chill, and people in a club don't want to be driving down the road; they want to like be partying. One of the songs that still like will kill it for me is Drum Broccoli, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That I do like the new Jack Harlow Dua Lipa track. I think that one's pretty good. Again, but it's trying to find like the hype songs, to me. What else do I have on here? I like that Peru record. I know that's not like a new thing or anything like that, but I really like that. I like the whole Afrobeat vibe that's like genuinely gaining momentum now, because it's such a sexy vibe, and it's a nice break from the 8,000 requests for Bad Bunny. It really is.
Bob Mooney.
Well, what was crazy was how Bad Bunny dropped last week. I was literally playing a new Bad Bunny record, and this girl comes up, "Can you play Bad Bunny?" Like, I almost wanted to pick my computer up and like show her, like it was like, yeah.
It's super frustrating. The phone thing is like
Oh,
got to be one of the most
I hate that.
frustrating fucking things. So my remedy anymore is I started with just a no, but they I don't like making them sad, so I try
No,
to bring
you know what's funny is I was just gonna show you this.
yeah. That's it. So mine
What app
anymore
are
is
you
just
using
this
for that?
no.
What app are
Um,
you guys using
This
for
one is
that?
called Big Right. And don't laugh at my phone. I'm very much a person who likes to have the headphone jack, and this is the last one with the headphone jack. So
Oh wow.
my girl's
This
like,
is
you need a new phone. $100. That's funny. I gotta do that. Even better.
that's what I always say now. I
Yeah,
just hold
but
this
see,
back.
there, I don't know. I hate tips. I hate tips
I'm with
because
you. Well, I like them
I
afterwards,
know,
but
but
I don't like them for a song request. I
I
don't
don't
like
I
song
only
requests.
do it because most people are like
yeah, they're not gonna tip you. I don't know. Like people try and like I remember turning down like $100 on New Year's Eve a few times. Like I don't know. I just because just the if someone's just like tipping you because they like what you're doing, I'm like okay-ish with it. But I still tell people like I'd rather you go buy a drink. Like go have a good
that's
time.
I generally say that too. The $100 is just to fuck with people.
No,
I've
that's
talked
funny
about
though.
on the show before. It's like I don't really want to be now felt like I'm controlled by somebody
Yes,
just
exactly.
because they gave you money.
And they
Well,
don't come up the one time, they come up for the rest of the night because
exactly.
now
I
your
gave you
boys
this much money. You need to
yeah.
play my song. Where's that Bond
Uh,
movie you promised me?
is there any other
Oh yeah,
other
sorry.
tracks in there?
Um, it's just this one version. Audio Rock did it of Gail's ABCDEFU. It's just the way it drops is just it has such a nice drop to it. It's a nice transition between playing pop and then playing like harder house music. So I like that, because one of the things I like doing, like you got to find ways to transition between genres, right? I mean, I've done the cliche Starships to Daft Punk One More Time live so many times. Like I think I ended up just setting the loop point in Serato at this point, but yeah, so that's when I really like using because of that. I will say with no, that's another whole nother topic, so I'll keep going. Lauren Spencer Smith, that she's not it's not really a club record or anything, but that Flowers record, I really like that new record Flowers. It's super chill. And I'm not just saying that because I got asked to do a mix. It's actually kind of interesting I was asked to do a mix because I really like the song. And going back to the days of Gautier, I really like the song, and then they asked me to do the mix too. So it's like following along those lines. It's like when you just have a vibe about something, you're like, oh, this is gonna be good. That's all. Anyway,
I actually had that on the list of things to talk about is the Gautier remix that you did because it became they were playing it here on our local rock radio station. That
oh,
was your version
it
was
was
what
the
they were playing.
version. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I had like at one point I had like probably I know I had the PD of Z100 as well as the music director of Z100 like fucking blowing up my phone because the heads of promo at what were they at the time before they were Republic? We at Universal at the time. They played it for them over the phone, or like they went down and played it for them, and they're like, "Oh, we can't release it yet." And he was blowing on my phone like, "Can you send me the MP3 or whatever?" But yeah, that I will say that mix helped helped me a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't get paid for it. I got no money out of that other than moving forward. But that worked out. I mean, that was number one for like 13 weeks. And then
Did you ever hear from Gautier about it or
he hated it. He
he
fucking hated
hated
it.
it?
If there's actually a Rolling Stones article, if you look up, I think Gautier Gautier Mike D Rolling Stones article will pop up still, because he didn't know about it until he went to Z100 because it wasn't a licensed mix. So
Oh.
they asked me to do this mix. Like I'm gonna say the real story. They asked me to do this mix, and did it, and it blew up. And then they're like, "Whoops, we can't get him to sign off on it because Gautier is very much an artist in that sense." So they're now playing this version everywhere that this artist won't sign off on. Hasn't heard it. He gets to Z100, and I forget who interviewed him. It says in the article, that, oh yeah, we're playing this version that this guy Mike D did. He added like some drums and da 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 da. It's really good. And then he heard it, and then he gets on the phone, and then he calls the heads at Universal, and he, I really wish he would have signed off on it because I really liked his whole album. Making Mirrors was his album? Chasing Mirrors or Making Mirrors? I really like his album. I really like Gautier as an artist. And it just kind of made me sad because it almost felt like he was petty. He did an entire remix album, like an entire remix album of Somebody Used to Know, and like still wouldn't include my mix.
Wow, that sucks, man. Yeah.
So me.
At that point, it's just a grudge, it sounds like.
Yeah, I know. That's what it feels like. I'm not trying to be like big headed about it, but fuck, that's what it felt like, man. It was like, damn, dude, like, can't you just like throw me a crumb? I mean, they were nice. They like sent me plaques and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, it's gotten me a lot of work. Was
that the first one that kind of broke you into doing bigger or more remixes to where everyone's calling you? Or I guess the first non-official one that was getting a lot of radio play?
This is the article headline too from Rolling Stone is Inside Gautier's Weird Aussie Pop that's invading your radio.
That's the one.
That's amazing.
One.
I'll have to link that article in the comments if anybody wants to just check it out.
Oh, if you want to link that, you should link the Chris Brown stuff too. So before that, when Jive was still around, I did remixes for Chris Brown, and I did one with for Kiss Kiss, which had TOK. You guys familiar with reggae stuff? I don't know.
Yep. Oh yeah, I love reggae.
Okay, perfect. So there's a mix with TOK. That's Chris Brown, Kiss Kiss with TOK, and then there's Wall to Wall with Elephant Man. Now, the crazy thing is, like, this is when Chris Brown was like, 16, Mr. like clean cut and blah, 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 before he became like the bad boy, before he went that way. And if you look up the video, there's all kinds of video of it, on the reggae, on the Hot 97s on the reggae tip. He came out because Elephant Man's performing, right? He came out and did my version at the fucking show. And
wow.
Elephant Man, the crazy thing is he had Elephant Man come out and like, where's the big girl? I need the big girl. Come on. My Jamaican accent sucks. I need the big girl. Come here. You need to dirty wine on him. Full on jumps on him. And and his PR people freaked out because of it, because it's like, what the fuck is this asshole doing to our clean cut, guys? So, it's just, it was when that, remember that Chris Brown Christmas movie that came out like back in the day? He was like in some Christmas movie or something.
Vaguely.
I remember commercial jingles and commercials because that's what I did for a living.
Oh, so. This Christmas. Yeah.
Yes. But that's when the show was, that's when it came out. And so, yeah, if you look up Chris Brown, Elephant Man, like those videos pop up, and it's hilarious to watch. But back then it was still risque in that sense. And which was, I'm only speaking from like the hearsay I've heard, and that was kind of like, kind of thing. My first actual official remix was Justin Timberlake's My Love, which was released on a UK iPad release, or excuse me, UK iPod release with Apple.
Wow.
Yeah, and they spelled my name totally wrong on the CDs.
Are you still giving some of the remixes out to the pools? I think I still see stuff of yours pop up. I know you got a Patreon that you're doing that guys can subscribe to.
Okay. Here's what's going on, because people are like, oh, you're only doing stuff on Patreon now. I'm not only doing stuff on Patreon. Are you guys not getting my emails?
I think do you send them to Jason or do you send them to submissions?
I don't even know. I have it's like 1,000-person email blast I sent it to.
Okay, well, I'll give you mine at the end, and then I'll make sure that stuff goes up that you do send. But I think we got stuff that pops up still from you. We don't mind too the Patreon. I actually just wanted you to plug it too for other so people
I
can.
was gonna plug it. Don't worry, I'll definitely plug it. But what I'm saying is like I still stand, especially like on the promo list or radio and stuff like that. I absolutely send it out because without you guys, I would not be who I am today in that sense. Granted, I'm not saying I'm some fucking superstar, but I want to, there's a goal I have in mind. And yeah, when you're younger, you kind of like dick around and stuff like that. But I'm at that point where I know what my goal is and I have a good idea how to achieve it. I don't know exactly. I have a good idea and I want to get there. But that's by no means am I gonna like leave people in the fucking past. You know what I mean? Like, oh well, now you gotta fucking subscribe to everything, come check out my butthole on OnlyFans. Nothing like that. So trying not to laugh. So like I definitely still send stuff out. Granted, I'll do extra versions or specific only mixes for page. Like if it's new stuff, absolutely it's going out. But like if I'm doing finding my older mixes and stuff like that, I mean this in the nicest way. No offense. I sent them out before, so they're out there. Like you can find them. But if you subscribe to my Patreon, like I got my back catalog up there. I'm even like taking older mixes I've done that like I'm like, damn, this like could be fucking mixed a lot better, and I'm redoing them. You know what I mean? Just to have and it's kind of a learning experience because like a lot of the older stuff I did in Sony Acid, and now I'm in Ableton, and the workflow and the algorithm for time stretching is much better in Ableton than even in the new Sony Acid, and just the way you're able to route effects and stuff like that. It's so much better. The other thing I'm going to start is doing I just have it at $5 because there was like, okay, so here's a weird kind of fact about those bass mixes I do. There are two groups that absolutely use the shit out of them. Okay. One are roller rinks. They love it. Fucking love it. Because it's high energy and like there's jam skaters in Cincinnati. There's a group of jam skaters down there that I'm actually fairly close with.
Oh really?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's like breakdancing in roller skates. They call it jam skating. But they use a lot of my mixes because when you go to the roller rink, you'll hear stuff like freestyle and can't stop the rock and stuff like that, because it has that high tempo and it's not house, it's that boom cha boom jom pa jom boom, so, and that's kind of like the flavor they like with it. The other group that fully, and I had no idea about this, they've been using it for years and I had no idea. The other group I found out recently are strip club DJs. So kids at a skating rink and strip club DJs enjoy my shit. Use my stuff out quite a lot. And the reason why strip clubs use it is because, a lot of their managers are like, hey, don't play that stuff. It's way too slow. But then, put on I guess a Mike D version of No Hands by Waka Flocka. And then all of a sudden it's magically okay, and that's So those are, and the thing is like, I have to be careful. I can't just like willy-nilly send, allow anyone on the promo list, because at the end of the day, we're all, whether it's DMS or any other pool or, myself, we're all operating at the end of the day under the legalities of what we're able to send out. So I need to be able to justify, what I'm sending stuff out to. Now, the reason why, and I talked to one of the label's lawyers about it. He's like, you know what? If you state that if the person has like they have either ownership, like they bought the thing, like say whatever record, they bought the record or they bought the MP3, not Spotify, like bought it, or if they legally have permission to use it as promo, then you're not selling the song, you're selling your service. And
Right.
that's where the Patreon kicks in. That's why like I won't touch like I won't do it downloads on my site. I won't do that, or I won't do what's other Bandcamp, because
Right.
now you're running into distribution and all that kind of stuff. And I probably could make a lot more money doing it, but I charge $5 on my Patreon and that's it. And it's just for people who have a song who want the version I made. And it does okay. I'm not over here making millions of dollars, but it's fun to do because then I can throw up weird things. Like I did that paper planes where I took out all the gunshots and replaced it with stupid sounds.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was amazing. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah.
But I
That
have
went around for a while. It was
but
amazing.
see, I have silly stuff like that up there too. That no offense, I'm not going to send out to mix show guys. I mean, if they ask, I'll send it to them. But you know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things. Like it gives me another outlet to take some of these weird ideas and put it, pen to paper, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great platform for that. And if you guys aren't already subscribed to his Patreon, make sure you go and hit it up.
Yeah, what's the official link to it? Just patreon.com/DJ Mike D.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to djmiked.com or patreon.com/DJ Miked. Just
okay, cool.
Miked. Was that 7 letters? DJ Miked, 7 letters.
So are you on Ableton then when you're doing everything pretty much?
For the most
now?
part, yes. There's some stuff I do use Audition for, but that's and Pro Tools if someone sends a Pro Tools session, but I hate Pro Tools. It's so slow to me. But yeah, I'm pretty much everything in Ableton except for like technical stuff. I'll use either Audition or what is this? I'll use, I forgot the name of it, RX8, or I'll use RipX. Actually does a pretty good job of if you want stems, they do an okay job. Like if there's just nothing for it. Some of the Captain plugins, the standalone stuff, I'll use some of that too. But I would say 90% of everything's all just Ableton now.
Cool. We're gonna switch topics here a little bit, and we're gonna do our 60-second rant. So if you have something you would like to rant about for 60 seconds, it could be the Pokeballs in Cleveland, or it could be something DJ related. Whatever you want to do. I'm gonna play this little segment video, and then we'll get into it.
Shout, let it all out.
All right, another $1 billion video production.
Anytime?
Yeah, anytime we can get started. Yeah, go for it.
You know what grinds my gears? Okay, this is something that I actually cannot stand, and it's DJs, if you are going to give out life advice, please make sure you can mix first. Okay. I'm tired of seeing, no offense, and I mean this with love, but some of you guys I know who can barely blend 2 records, who don't know how to count what part and how to mix out and phrase, giving me life advice on how I need to fucking spend my Saturday by bettering myself. Okay. I don't need that. How about you better your mix?
There we go. There you have it.
Love it.
Better the mix before better my life.
My life can wait.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, everybody with social media now, everybody wants to,
Oh wait, I'm not done. Actually, I found one other thing I can't stand. You TikTok fucking DJs. No one wants to see. Nobody wants to see that shit. Stop.
That part drives me a little nuts too. The doing the Carlton while just letting a track play. I get it that everybody's got their thing, but that one does drive me nuts too. It's
you look like an asshole.
That's not how you DJ at the club?
Yeah. Or when they go like, oh wait, got it. I get it. You got a fucking Rain 12. Congratulations. It spins.
If you guys are just listening to this podcast, you need to stop and go to the YouTube so you get the visuals in there. Because you need the visuals to really make it make sense. I mean, you probably already have an idea of what we're talking about, but you really need the visual.
Oh, amazing.
And you know,
It
like he
reminds-
already said, he's not trying to watch Melissa twerk to a whole new world.
Yes.
It's the same thing with DJs.
Oh, and also it's 2022. We have crazy amounts of technology at our hands. Why the fuck am I still hearing out of key mashups? Okay,
Oh.
stop. Get some help.
What's your go-to key detection software? So that means they could go. Is it Mix and Key? Is that Mix and Key 10? Is that the move?
What version of Mixed in Key do I have? You know, I use Mixed in Key only because it's been on my desktop since I only have 8 on here. Since before Serato was a thing. But see, that's where you run into issues because guys will see, you know, this C major will mix with this A minor, but the problem is Mixed in Key only detects majors and minors. It doesn't detect a natural minor or a harmonic minor where there's notes off. And if they play those notes as dominant, guess what? It's going to sound wrong because it's off key. Or if the chord progression's wrong. That's why, like, sometimes, like, someone will hit me up being like, oh, yeah, they're in the same key. Are you sure they're in the same key? Or are they, like, close? Or, excuse me, are they in the same key, but is a chord progression the same? Because if the chord progression's off, it can sound, you know, it's weird energy, you know? And I mean, that's forgivable to a sense, but you know, that's taking it to the next level, which I personally believe every producer and DJ should do. You should never settle. Like, I will never tell myself, oh, I'm the greatest at making fucking bass mixes. No, you know why? Because if I think I'm the greatest at anything, then Sir Mix-a-Lot said it the best. Once you are number one, there's nowhere to go but down. Sir Mix-a-Lot said that. And I take that to heart every time. Like, you know, I will never, even if I am we the best music, I will never say we the best because there's nowhere to go but down. Shout out to Khaled.
Another one.
But as far as the key detection software, I do use Mixed in Key. Serato's just easier because Mixed in Key, I looked at my file. Like, granted, I've analyzed probably 80,000 or 100,000 songs or something, but the file is like 20 or 30 gigs. It's a huge file. What are you guys using in there? You know,
Of Mix and Key?
yeah,
the
my
program?
Mixed in Key. Yeah, the Mixed in Key database file is fucking huge. So there's that part of me that's like, you know, because I like to clean out my my system drive, and I analyze it all the time. I was like, what the hell is this file? And it's the Mixed in Key file, the database file. So
I finally updated to 10.
I have 10 as
I
well.
like it.
I do like it. I do like it a lot.
Is there anything
it's
different?
not. I've heard it's a little bit more accurate, and the Serato key detection I've also heard isn't as accurate. It's always like one off or something. I don't know. That's not something in my head, but that is what I've heard.
That's just Yakov Smirnikov or whatever his name is, like, getting you good. What's that guy's name? Yakov something.
Yakov Smirnikov.
Yeah,
It is that. That's that email I get all the time. I know exactly what you're talking about. Good old Yakov.
Well, I'm a little bit mad because I paid for Mixed in Key back in the day, where if you bought both for Mac and PC, you would get lifetime updates to all their products for the rest of your life. And now it's telling me I got to pay for 10. So I'm gonna send them a little email like, hey. Unless Yakov fucking sold the company, y'all need to, like, you know, hook it up.
Come right with it. Yeah. We're gonna do a little travel hack segment. We know you've traveled a lot, and so we'll just, if you have any travel tips for us after this little segment video, here we go.
I wanna fly away.
Travel hacks.
I have 3 travel tips. One is, especially the night before a gig, sleep is way more important than partying. It is. It just is. The last thing you want to do, especially if you're going to a gig where you're trying to, you know, come back, it's way more impressive to industry people that you were responsible, then you partied your ass off. It really is, from everything I've seen, because nowadays everything's corporate, and those people that book you, they're running a business. They're not there to fucking party. They might party a little bit, but they're there to run a fucking business. So get some sleep. Second one is because people like to take you out to eat. I hate eating before DJing. I fucking hate it. It's like the worst thing in the world to me, but sometimes it has to happen. Imodium AD. If you don't know what Imodium AD is, that makes you not poop.
I keep it in my DJ bag.
I do too.
It's one of the things you got to keep in there.
And the third
bubble
thing,
guts.
the third thing is
bubble guts.
Huh?
No, I was saying, so you don't get that bubble guts.
Oh, yeah. Oh, could you imagine? Oh, that'd be
It's the worst.
You have
It's
the
the
mix
worst.
on, and you're like just sitting in the bathroom, like, oh, dude, please don't end. Please don't end. Finish.
I actually
You're
had
like-
a root canal crack on me in the middle of the set. That was actually bad.
Ugh.
It was a 4 o'clock club, and it cracked on me at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I played the rest of the night. And like I had to sip super cold water every 5 seconds, or just the shooting pain would like sear through my head.
Oh
It was kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy. The waitresses like went and found someone with fucking coke to use as a numbing agent.
See, that could have been your story of favorite memories in the DJ booth, right there.
My tooth cracked. That wasn't a fucking favorite story.
No, but the coke from the waitress.
You know what? No, I'm a PC. I didn't even take it.
That's right.
That's
right.
I forgot the reggae line. Anyway, no
Number
cocaine
3.
in my brain. Anyway, and the third one is actually from Davey D, New York Davey D, because there's quite a few Davey Ds. New York, Brooklyn Davey D, one of my really close friends, who got this advice from Lil Jon, and that is milk thistle. Those little pills. You take 2 and chug a bottle of water before you drink, and then when you get home, you take 2 more and you chug a bottle of water before you pass out from being drunk. You will not have a hangover. You might be able to have that dry shakiness from all that, but you won't be hungover. You won't have that terrible after everything alcohol feeling, and you'll be able to function. And
Wait,
that's
I'm gonna try this. Give those instructions one more time.
milk thistle. It's like a supplement.
Yeah. I got it. I got it pulled up. What's the instructions?
Just take 2 pills and tank a bottle of water before, and then take 2 after the club, and tank a bottle of water after.
Usually, I kind of have a similar routine. If I know I'm drinking, is I do the little packets, like the liquid IV or drip drop packets. 1 in a bottle of water before I go, and 1 when I come home. And usually, I'm okay. Like it's not like the best day ever the next day, but you're like functional.
Keep in mind, when I got this advice, it was Kings of Crunk, Salt Shaker, crazy shit, Lil Jon,
Oh wow.
who gave this advice,
Uh,
and he
I'm
swears
gonna try it.
by it, or he swore
I'm-
by it at the time.
I'm definitely gonna try it.
All right. So those are some travel tips. Those are good travel tips. And we get all kinds of different DJs on here with different travel tips, and everything is always a little different, and it's always interesting to learn. Like Warren's travel tip was he has a fork with him at all times, because like if he tries to eat like in the airplane or something, or like he's like, I don't have a fork. So that was one of his
No, you know
travel
what?
tips.
I agree with that, because one of the things you didn't hear that. One of the things I always have on me is dental floss. Always. You never know when
There you go.
shit's gonna get stuck in your teeth. Like you want to eat healthy. Oh, I'm gonna eat healthy after like partying my ass off, after hungover. I'm gonna eat some strawberries, and then you get one of those seeds stuck in your teeth, and then it's stuck there for like fucking days. No, I got the
I'm gonna
dental
eat some
floss.
strawberries.
All right, and before we get off, and we got one more segment for you. We're gonna do some. Let's see. What are we doing here?
New
I
tech?
can't even remember. Oh, new technology. That's right, new technology.
Oh, I went and got my bag and everything.
Hey, yo, I need some
All right, new technology. It could be anything you're using, something you carry in your DJ bag, a piece you're keeping in the rack there at the home office, anything.
I mean, this isn't new tech. This is a Juno 60 down here. That's not new technology by any means, but it's definitely cool. So this push, everyone knows what a push is, but I always see guys like asking about, stands and stuff like that. One of the things I found were these $7 things on eBay, and it just folds up right like that, and it just sits right on. Dang it! It'll just sit right on the table like that, and it's an attached stand. And it's not really technology, but I really think these are cool. I use this on my laptops too. It's so when you have when you're not using a stand, you just have a flat surface. These things are kind of fucking amazing. It's like a built-in stand.
I might have to get one of those for my laptop just to slap it on the bottom of the case and have that is a good idea. I like that. Are you on the 360 cam track like both of us?
Oh yeah.
The video you posted of you at Ivy was pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. So you're on the GoPro one.
Wait, what stand is that? That's the mount.
This the GoPro stand it comes with, or the GoPro. I'm usually never like a name brand person, but there was like GoPro had some like kind of crazy sale, and then plus if I signed up for an Amazon credit card, there was like more you got off, or you got like 20 or 30% off or some crazy shit like that. So I got like all the GoPro accessories for it. So yeah, this is the GoPro one. I mean, what's crazy is like I love all different kinds of technology shit. I keep it fairly simple when I'm DJing. I really do. Like I used to carry around an MPAD 32 before the SP1, and then I would carry an SP1. But I mean, now everywhere I play, it's an S9 or S11. So, and like here in my home setup, I got two 12s and an S11 hooked up there. I have phase, but I'll be honest, I don't use it. I don't ever use it. I'm probably gonna sell it. Oh, I have I don't know if you guys saw it. It's by Vochlea, VOCHLEA, I think, or VOCHEA. They have a microphone for it, but it's basically you use the microphone to trigger MIDI notes. So, like if I go, it would actually recognize each of those as a different MIDI trigger because based on the pitch or whatever, and translate it to actual drums in Ableton. Which, I'll be honest, I think their software needs a little bit of work. It's cool if like you're in a total dead room where you don't have any slapback or anything, but for most people it might take some tweaking, I guess. I love some of my rack gear. It's new to me, I guess, but
is there anything that else that you keep in your bag that you think would be a good recommendation for other DJs?
See, I brought my bag. I thought you'd never ask. So I am very much a proponent of making sure you're prepared. And in that, I have what all DJs should have is Ziploc full of fucking adapters. So I have every possible combination of adapter. I think I need to like package these up and like make like a survival kit for DJs. Like, I got RCAs, but then I also have all the, 1/4-inch adapters, but then I also have, the RCA to TRS adapters.
I was gonna say that's something you should put on your Patreon because I've wanted to do the exact same thing.
What? Sell
the little bag or send the list. I love the I love the Ziploc bag so much though because yeah, it's amazing.
Nothing fancy.
Yeah. Is that the jetpack bag?
Yeah, it's the.
Yeah. Shout out jetpack.
I do love this bag. But see, I'm one of those people. I like to be so prepared. I carry around a fucking stand in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
it adds about like 10 pounds, but I don't know. To me, it's worth it.
Every adapter known to man. What else is in there? Hard drives. You got one of those big 8 terabyte hard drives?
No, but I carry around where'd it go? It's on my desk somewhere. I buy like a lot of SSD drives, and then I just buy like cases for them, and then that's how I transfer stuff around. I even have like an old iPod, just in case anything dies.
Oh wow.
Pens.
Can you buy those anymore? Do they make them?
No,
still?
they just said they just discontinued like this
yeah.
week. They just this
Jeez.
week.
This is what DJs need to carry, because I don't get, like, I'm not even talking about fucking COVID. I'm not talking about none of that shit. I'm talking about you dirty motherfucking DJs who touch the goddamn CDJs and the mixer and your slimy hands and everything's grimy. And then the beginning of the night, if I'm going to open or if I close and I look at the mixer and there's crust on it, crust on CDJs, y'all nasty. Clean your shit. Yeah, I have mic cables and mic. I'm one of those people, like, I like to be prepared for anything. I have caffeine pills.
See, the mic
Wait.
is important, I think. The mic.
Yes.
See, I carry a mic and
I want to hear about the caffeine pills.
yeah.
It's like one pill is like 3 cups of coffee. That's all it is. They're like, what is it? 200 milligrams of caffeine per thing. Off of
You're
Amazon.
gonna be like Jessie Spano and Saved by the Bell when she's addicted to caffeine pills. Do you know what I'm talking about? She's like, I'm so excited and I just can't hide. And they're like, rehab her and like sit her down and have an intervention because she's addicted.
Caffeine pills? I thought it was something else.
I'm pretty sure it was caffeine pills.
That's crazy.
The mic is necessary though. I always carry a mic, but I carry it with a cable that has a 1/4 inch, because some of those mics have, you just need that.
That's what I have too. I have it a regular mic cable and then a female XLR to 1/4 inch adapter, and then I have a 1/4 inch to XLR male in case I need a booth monitor cable, because for whatever reasons, a lot of live sound, if I get contracted to do a private event or like someone's thing out somewhere and like some sound company's doing the sound, I notice a lot of the times they don't know how to hook a monitor up to a DJ booth. They'll like take it out of the regular mixer in a funky ass way, or they'll like plug it into a DI box, and it's like, guys, just plug it into the fucking mixer. So, but they like, oh, I don't have that cable. I only have XLR cables. Well, fuck, So
that is a great one to have. I just had that where they're like, here's your monitor, but it was just the main output, so it was so fucking loud
all
and
night.
I'm like, I want to have control over it.
Exactly.
They're like, why? What do you need that for? I'm going, when the person comes up here to do announcements, or say if this person won or whatever, you definitely need to be able to control it and turn it down. Otherwise, they're just gonna be fucking loud. So, yeah, those are two great cables definitely to have. And the caffeine pills I'm gonna get. I like that. So would you say it's stronger than like a 5-hour energy drink?
It's different to me. 5-hour energy drink is like crack. This one is like a little bit slower release, so it's not. I'm not like, hey guys, hey, welcome to the podcast. What's going on?
I need them just so I can wake up and be a normal person.
I just don't want to be like Jessie Spano and have my family sit down and have an intervention with me. So I might have to chill on the caffeine pills.
I mean, I don't drink coffee, and like, I don't drink coffee regularly. Like, I'll have it every blue moon or whatever. Like, my girl, she loves Starbucks and stuff like that. But I'll get it like, once every blue moon. I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll get a triple mocha chocolato fucking whatever the hell it is, and whatever. And then I'm just like fucking cornholio over there. But I take these and like it definitely wakes you up, but it's not like crack like that.
And what's on the iPod? Just mixes?
Couple mixes, couple songs, like couple different genre, like some couple different, like maybe 30-40 song playlists, just like 60s and then 70s and then 80s and then pop 90s and then some nightclub mixes depending what you need, like an open, like a pool mix, and then like hip-hop club or open format mix, and then something, I guess, to cover all the bases.
Yeah,
I thought I had cooler shit. I feel like I have cooler shit in here, and I just don't know where any of it is. You know what I think I'm actually thinking about doing is, because I didn't realize how scarce they were, I think I'm going to do a giveaway of Shure M447 needles. The
wow.
Yeah. I have like 6 pairs that I don't use needles anymore. Like I have my recording needles, and I don't use the Shure ones. And I know some guys who are like, "Oh, I'll never touch another needle unless it's a Shure." So I don't know, $5 raffle or something like that.
I'm sure you get a bunch for those.
I think so too. I think that would do
Yeah.
okay. I have a PS5 sitting in the corner that I haven't opened yet. It's been
Dang,
sitting.
you rich.
No. I actually got it from like a friend, and I feel fucking bad because it's like, why'd you get me a PS5? Like, oh, you always hook me up and help me out with stuff, and it's like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's like Eston. His name's Eston. I was like, Eston. It's like, shit, man. Like I appreciate it, but it's like you spent. This isn't like you bought me lunch. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Well, I've taken a million notes. Honestly, you got me buying all kinds of shit now, Mike. and I got a long ass playlist of shit I need to listen to.
It's been great chatting, and we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to chat with us, and tell us some of the stories, and kind of the real stories of how things kind of happened to you, and kind of how your life has transitioned. It's always cool getting to chat with everybody, and we just appreciate you taking the time out of your day. So
no, I appreciate being here, and I've actually been up since yesterday working on music. So sorry if I'm a little spazzy and chatty today. To
We got
everyone out there in podcast land.
Any new projects you're working on, or something they should be looking for?
Right now, I'm
Any
working.
new big songs?
Yes.
Remixes?
I'm working on Lauren Spencer Smith, Flowers. I just finished something for Dean Lewis, Hurt Less. I was doing some engineering work for the new Post Malone Cooped Up record. I think that drops tomorrow. I just did something for Boy with Uke, the I Don't Give a Fuck song. Justin Bieber, Honest. I just put out Summer Walker, No Love. That's an official mix. Money Long, Hours and Hours. That's an official mix. I want to do something with First Class, but I mean that record's done, isn't it? I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's still number 2.
It's such a mid, like there was so much hype around it, and it just, I don't know. I just feel like there's no energy, so I want to like do like an energetic version of it. Not. And I don't mean like a house version. I mean like take what they did, but make it more energetic hip hop, I guess.
do it, please.
Please do it. I would play the shit out of it. It needs it.
Yeah.
Oh, Doses and Mimosas.
Yeah, you gonna put that back out?
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's kind of crazy because I do a lot of engineering work that people don't like, because it's not like I'm the remixer or I'm the person who made it, but like the label will be like, hey, we have this song, we need like I do a lot of clean versions for people, which is kind of interesting. Or I'll
Actually, I always wondered how radio stations get that, because you ever hear just certain songs where there never was a clean version, and they're just the radio just plays them backwards or whatever. Because
I hate them backwards.
I hate backwards.
Like Big Papa, I still hear that one and it's still reversed.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. But yeah, no, I'm one of the people, like there's some other guys too, but because a lot of times like the artist engineers, like either they wrapped up or they're done, or they don't have the studio in session, so they'll send me the files, and they'll be like, hey, we need this either cleaned up, or we need it mastered a different way, or XY, whatever whatever they need. So it's weird because I hear stuff like I worked on Sunflower, the Post Malone record.
Yeah.
And I actually got credit for that, so that was kind of neat.
So you like helped like what do you call it, master it, or you did some of the
post engineering, I guess. So not really the mastering, but like the mix down after the mix down, I guess.
Okay.
Like because it was such a some of these records, like there's like one person who does it, and like like the person who made the beat is also the producer, and then like they send it off to mastering. What's that person's name? Shoot. I can't remember the name. Shoot. Anyway, like some records, there's no, some, especially hip hop records, some of these guys submitting to the labels, there's no waveform. So when people are like, oh, I need the wave, well, there was no wave to begin with. Like some of these releases were only MP3s, and there's no clean version. You know, they can't get in touch with the person who made the beat. They paid for the beat outright, so they'll be like, "Hey, Mike, we have no parts for it. Can you make a clean version?" And that's, you know, having done like production and just being kind of like really, I like to really dive into what programs can do and figure out how to, you know, extrapolate either the beats or the instruments or whatever I can through frequency extrapolation or inverting stuff, or, you know, whatever, figuring out how to get different the different elements to make an instrumental to begin with, to make a clean version. So that's something I do quite a bit.
That's rad.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, again, we appreciate you taking the time to be on here with us today. Is there anything else that
wrap
you
it up,
want
Michael.
Is there anything? Can you just make sure you plug your Instagram and make sure where everybody can find you?
I mean, everything for me is just DJ Mike D, DJ MIKED. That's all it is. Link to my Patreons in my Instagram bio. I'm not big on TikTok because I'm not 10. Oh, you know, I'm not 18. Like, I'll be nice. I'm not 18. I'm not big into TikTok. So, you know,
what I like about TikTok
think
is I like the algorithm just is random as fuck. So I think, yeah, and I like that. It kind of you're not just getting the people you follow or whatever. So I don't know.
I think you should do it, and you should just post like the video like you posted on Instagram of like the 360 cam. That's pretty much what I do. Is just post.
Oh, really?
Those, like live in the club.
Actually,
yeah.
You know, could be dope on TikTok is you playing the push. Yeah.
Or you just
That could be
giving
dope.
rants, doing 60-second rants of things that you hate. People might love that too.
You know what I hate is when a guest can't shut up. You know.
Nah. But
no, you've been
right,
awesome, dude.
Yeah,
really, this has been. I've taken more notes, I think, on this interview than I've taken in a long time.
I feel like I haven't said it. Like, why? I feel like I haven't said anything,
dude. I don't know why I'm naive to. Let's see, what do I got here? Milk thistle is definitely going down. I need to get some caffeine pills. I'm getting caffeine pills. I took a bunch of notes on some of the songs you were talking about. So yeah, hell yeah, man.
Okay.
I always learn something new all the time.
I think
oh, and I'm going to get Spamasubi right after this.
Oh, you're in Cali. You can, you bastard. Yeah. Oh yeah, here. Like, see. You know what? Actually, this is something all DJs should have. Is this is just a hard drive case, low SSD. This is like maybe a 500 gig hard drive. I think it was like $50 or, you know, on sale on Amazon. Like, these are way better than sticks. They take up the same amount of power, so you can plug them into CDJs. And they're a lot easier to, I personally think they're easier to carry because they're harder to lose. And they won't, you know, it doesn't have that little tab thing that, you know, especially like the SanDisk, how it pops out. These are like a lot more durable. So something to consider. Anyway, just I saw it and I thought I'd roll with it. But yeah, DJMikeD.com. I'm gonna start production tutorial. I'm gonna actually start maybe like another tier where I'll have some of the projects available for people to see how it's done and all that kind of stuff. I still got to figure that out, and I want to make sure everything's on the up and up, and, you know, I don't have a bunch of cease and desist coming my way. That's not fun. So
I think people would eat that shit up. Honestly,
I think so too. And then you could use your TikTok to tease what you're doing on your Patreon, and then, you know, there you go. You'll have all these dancing DJs in your on your
I have a feeling like someone's gonna like fucking hit me after, like, what the fuck is the problem with what I'm doing, dick? I feel it coming.
Well, you know, it was said. It is what it is. You know,
I can't do anything about it now.
But Once again, we appreciate you taking
you.
the time to be here today. And anybody listening, if you're listening, make sure you follow DJ Mike D on all social media. And once again, thank you for listening to the show. If you're on YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button. If you're on, Apple Podcasts, make sure you follow and download. And until next week, we'll talk to you later. See ya.
Peace.